I'm glad that you're back at Solution Golf. In this video, we are going to discuss about the fundamentals of a putting stroke. And most importantly, how you can practice at home these fundamentals. The best time to practice your putting fundamentals are during the off-season. And why you should do that is because having a consistent setup results in a consistent stroke, which will have an impact on the club face alignment at impact. So all these together are going to make you a better player because you're going to be able to start more consistent the ball on your desired line. Let's see how we need to take our setup in order to prepare ourselves for the best possible putt we've ever hit. Let's start to build our setup from the ground up, and let's see how we need to place our feet in order to make sure that the hips are not going to move during the putting stroke. So when you take the position, I want you to feel that your feet are a bit wider than normal, so just outside the shoulder width. That would be perfect. And this will prevent the hips to move laterally when you do the putting stroke, because it will be really difficult to sway when you have such a large base. So we need our feet just outside the shoulder width. Let's see how to display our weight from back to front on our feet. And the best way to do this is to take a towel, roll it like this, place it on the floor, and I want you to step on it with the middle of your feet. So in this way, you're gonna feel if you put too much weight on your heels, your toes are gonna be up. If you put all your weight on your toes, your heels are gonna be up. When you take your setup, that you have about 60 to 70% of your weight towards your toes. And in that way, your muscles are gonna be engaged and are not going to allow any movement of the hips through the putting stroke. So the lower part of your body is going to be really stable. I move the camera to the down the line view to see what other elements we need to take care of when we take our putting setup. Next would be to see how much we need to bend over. But this element also is going to vary on your shaft length and also how high or low you place your hands on the grip. But most of the time, you will find that you're gonna have to do this. So I want you to extend your arms out as much as you can. I'm gonna come a bit closer to the camera. As much as you can. And now I want to drop your arms. And when you feel that your arms are touching the chest, then you're gonna stop. So now your arms are in position on your chest, and you can squeeze with your arms the rib cage, and in that way, the hands are not gonna do anything with the club through the shot like this. They're just gonna stay centered, and the chest can move the hands in a motion that is going to be very consistent. So I have the arms up, let them down on my chest, and now all I have to do is to bend from the hips, but make sure your back is going to stay straight. So I'm going to bend down, bend down, bend down, bend down, and in this way you see now that I'm a bit too close to the ball. So in this way I know that I have to back up a bit. Once the setup is done, we have to make sure that one more element is in place. This is a bit more hard or tricky to check if you're alone, but I would encourage you to use your phone or a mirror to check it because it's really important. So when we have our setup, we would like the shaft to run through the middle of our forearms. If the club is not set at the correct angle, the face is going to point in different directions. So let's make sure that the shaft is running through the middle of the forearms, and in that way we know that the face, it's actually pointing towards our intended target. Now let's move the camera to the front view, and then I'll show you where to place your ball position. To ensure that we have a correct ball position every single time, I would like you to practice with an alignment stick, because this is going to give you a really good indication and feedback every single time. So for now we don't need the ball, so I'm just going to place the alignment stick on the ground. Now I'm going to take my setup and make sure the alignment stick is in the middle of your stance. Now I want you to place the club face in line with that alignment stick. And then we can pull the ball, and then you're gonna see that the ball is actually gonna be a bit in front of the alignment stick. So we always want the club face to be in the middle of our stance and the ball to be in line with the heart, let's say. And in that way we know that the club face is gonna come square at impact every time. If ball position goes in the middle, for most players, you're gonna see that the putter now is too far back and my hands are slightly in front of the club face. And that's gonna result in a shot that goes a bit to the right. even if I try to keep the club face square. If the ball position goes too far forward, you're gonna see now that the hands are a bit behind the club face. So that means that the club face now is pointing left of my target. So he's gonna make a shot that is gonna go slightly left. Therefore, having the correct ball position every time, it's really gonna ensure you that you have a consistent putting stroke and no compensations are gonna sneak into your technique. These are all the elements that I want you to pay attention when you practice next time. But there might be one more question, and that is going to be related to the position of your eye line when you take your setup. That, unfortunately, it's a question that you have to find the answer for. Because everybody perceives the word in a different way, that means that that position, when you're over the ball, is gonna vary for everybody. In my case, when I take my setup at the ball, I always like to have my eye line a little bit inside the ball. And in this way, I know that my brain sees the lines on the putter actually going towards my target. So if I'll just hit this putt now, I know that the ball is gonna go down the lines. So that was the correct placement of the eye line for my putting stroke, because the ball started on line, the ball rolled over the white lines, and also when I took the setup, the alignments that I have on my putter, so if I come a bit closer, were matching the lines that were on the floor. So that's the crucial part when we speak about the placement of the eye line. Take advantage of this off-season period to work on your putting technique. Having less putts next season, I'm sure is gonna reduce your scores by a lot of shots. Meanwhile, if you like the video, let us know in the comment box below, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time at thesolution.golf.